Hello, friend, and welcome to Inside the Dark. Thank you for joining me. 33-year-old Drew Garnier and his 29-year-old wife, Samantha Garnier, had two beautiful daughters, 6-year-old Izzy and 9-year-old Adelina. They lived in upstate New York, and by all accounts, appeared to be a happy family. Then Samantha learned that she was pregnant again. And according to her father, since they already had two little girls, Drew said he really wanted their third baby to be a son. But apparently he didn't just want a son. He was obsessed with having a son. And having a third daughter just wouldn't do. So he waited with high hopes to hear that he was finally getting the son he wanted, until Samantha was 5 months pregnant, and they learned the gender of their little one. They were having another girl. And even though Drew should have been happy just knowing their baby was healthy, he didn't take the gender reveal well, and it pushed him over the edge. It caused a fight between the couple that would escalate to epic proportions and change all of their lives forever. Drew attacked Samantha and their two young daughters with a knife in their Masonville, New York home, stabbing all three multiple times. When police arrived at their home, they found Drew with superficial wounds and said he surrendered to them immediately, while Samantha and her daughters were found severely wounded. Samantha was airlifted to the hospital, and the girls were rushed to the hospital, while police said Drew admitted to stabbing his family repeatedly. Samantha and her unborn baby did not survive the brutal attack, but Izzy and Adelina did.
Now to a pregnant mother, originally from Center Reach, who was murdered upstate. Police say the killer, who was her husband, grew up in Lake Grove. News 12's Kevin Vesey is here right now to explain the horrifying details. And Kevin, this is so tragic.
The 29-year-old woman was 5 months pregnant when she was killed, and her husband is now behind bars.
32-year-old Drew Garnier, originally from Lake Grove, now facing murder charges for allegedly stabbing his pregnant wife to death in upstate Masonville, New York. Police say 29-year-old Samantha Garnier was 5 months pregnant when she was killed. She was originally from Center Reach. Drew Garnier is also accused of stabbing his two young daughters, ages 9 and 6.
Samantha Garnier was located inside the residence and was rendered aid by responding patrols prior to emergency medical services arriving. Samantha was then airlifted to Wilson Medical Center, where sadly she succumbed to her injuries.
It happened at around 11:30 Wednesday night. Both of the children are now hospitalized. One of them had to be airlifted. The two children are expected to survive. Police upstate say family came from outside that area to care for both of the girls.
At this time, they're still receiving medical care, but they are expected to make a full recovery.
Just terrible, and police say Garnier was arrested at the scene. He's now being charged with 1 count of murder and 2 counts of attempted murder. He faced a judge, and he's now being held without bail.
A Delaware County grand jury has added a series of gun possession felonies to the list of charges against the Masonville man accused of stabbing his pregnant wife to death. 32-year-old Drew Garnier was indicted for murder, 2 counts of attempted murder, and 5 counts of criminal possession of a weapon. New York State Police say Garnier fatally stabbed his 29-year-old wife, Samantha Garnier, and also stabbed their 2 daughters, ages 6 and 9, seriously injuring them inside their home on Houck Road in Masonville. Samantha, who was 5 months pregnant, was airlifted to Wilson Hospital, where she died from her injuries. Police say the girls are expected to make a complete recovery. The weapons charges are related to a pair of illegal assault rifles and high-capacity ammunition devices found inside the home. A Delaware County man who admitted to stabbing his pregnant wife to death and also seriously injuring his 2 young daughters has been sentenced to 30 years in prison. 33-year-old Drew Garnier pled guilty to manslaughter and 2 counts of assault in March. On September 4th, Garnier stabbed his wife Samantha and their 2 children inside their home on Houck Road in Masonville. Samantha died while the girls suffered significant injuries.
The girls were ultimately adopted by Samantha's father, who said in court that he is their dad now. Drew was offered a plea bargain of 30 years behind bars, with 15 years of post-release supervision for the brutal murders of his wife and unborn daughter. The prosecution said they offered 30 years in prison to keep Izzy and Adelina from having to testify in court and relive the terror of that awful day. Drew took the offer and is forbidden from having any contact with his surviving daughters until 2056. During his victim impact statement in court, Samantha's father said Drew took Samantha's life in anger after learning they were having a girl because he wanted a boy. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Inside the Dark. Take care, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel, where I'll be waiting to take you back inside the dark.